Since 93 Sports, the only place for sports, entertainment, and the most relevant social issues of today. All right, y'all. Since 93 Sports, back with another one. Wanted to give my thoughts on the guy, Paul Manafort, who was Trump's chairman of his campaign. He's being indicted for money laundering and basically tax evasion. And he had another guy that's a part of Trump's team that was some way tied to Russia. So, as we all know, if it smells like shit, most likely it is shit. And when I heard people saying that Trump wouldn't make it through his first term and all these things, I agree with them that he shouldn't make it through his first term, but I always believed that he would. And all this shit that's coming out, man, it seems like Donald Trump's not gonna make it through his full term. He's having more stories and scandals coming out in his first year in office than Obama had in his whole term, his whole two terms, which was 8 years. So it's crazy, man. And you know, we had the guy who named George Papadopoulos or whatever, Donald Trump's foreign policy advisor, lied to the FBI about contact with a Russian professor with ties to Russian officials. Okay, so that's one guy, and then we got this guy Paul Manafort who actually worked for the Ukraine president Viktor Yanukovych. Okay, and he got $12 million from that guy, and that's why Donald Trump fired him from his position. So the backstory is basically Paul Manafort came on board with Trump, okay, to help him keep delegates from breaking with him in favor of a traditional candidate. Because as we all know, Donald Trump has no experience in politics, and this guy Paul Manafort was brought on to keep the Republican, whoever's in power or whatever, and picking these candidates, keeping them from going with the guy who has more experience in politics. So that was him, and he's basically being indicted for a scheme to hide money from tax collectors and authorities. He had multiple offshore accounts. He was busted for transferring more than $3 million from one of those offshore accounts. And money laundering can get you up to 20 years in prison. Okay, so this is not no bullshit, man. And the U.S. will let you get away with a lot of things, but they will not let you get away with avoiding paying that tax money. So we know that he's either got to cut a deal and give him Trump, because you can't sit here and tell me all these guys that's close to Trump are doing all these things and Trump's hands are clean in this situation, man. You are who you hang around. The closest people to you are a reflection of you. So you can't tell me that all these guys are involved in all these criminal activities and Trump's hands are just sparkly clean. And you can't tell me that all these guys that's in Trump's circle that's having contact with these Russian officials, that Trump doesn't have a good relationship with the Russian officials. If it smells like shit, like I said before, it's got to be shit, okay? And Manafort and others in Trump's team, it was found out in July that they all met with Russian officials last year to try to receive damaging information on Hillary Clinton. And you can't tell me that Trump is just oblivious to all these things, man. It's just too much shit coming out, man. And it's just unraveling before our eyes, man. I really do not see Trump making it through a full term, man. They're going to keep busting all these guys, and eventually they're gonna rat on Trump. They're gonna give his name up, okay? It might be this guy Paul Manafort, because these guys are wealthy, okay? You think this guy's willing to sit down and do a bid when he has potential evidence that he can use in a deal to get lesser time? man, if Trump is in any way involved in any kind of criminal activity that Paul Manafort is aware of, Paul Manafort is going to give that over to the FBI, okay? And he's going to strike a deal because these guys don't live by that code, man. These rich guys, man, they don't live by that code of no snitching or none of that shit, man. That don't apply to them, man. If this guy has some information he can cut a deal with, he's going to cut a deal. I'm interested in how the FBI would treat this. Will they keep it under wraps, or will they allow it to be public information? Let this have been Obama, man, and all this shit went down, man. He would just be, trashed, man. And all these guys that supporting Trump, man, they're just running out of, positive points on why this man should be the leader of a country, man. He's just running, he's shitting on them, man. They can't come up with, it's only so much excuses they can come up with, man. And it's interesting to see this stuff just unraveling with social media and everything. It's hard to keep shit under wraps, man. And I'm just gonna stay tuned to this story and see if this guy's gonna talk, man. And if he does have some information, he's gonna talk, and it's gonna be interesting, man. It's just see this shit just unravel, and start hearing these guys start stuttering and all this other shit because they ain't gonna have nothing to say, man. But make sure y'all leave me y'all comments. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.